Welcome to day 4 of building your dream fit club location in under 10 days and $10,000. If you have a passion for health and fitness, now is your chance to see how you can materialize that passion, launch your own business, open up your location, and how to do it on a very tight budget. I'm going to be sharing the lessons and mistakes on my journey of launching 4+ locations, spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on costly mistakes that you can avoid. And today we're going to be talking about the build out and the renovation of the space we've got. So stay tuned and let's dive in. Now, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already have a vision in your mind. Maybe it's a Pinterest board, maybe it's a build out of a gym that you like, or maybe you're already attending a gym location that you fancy and you like the equipment and you already have an idea in your head what you want to include in your location. But what we're going to be doing today is something different, because in the beginning, the chances are the vision we have in our head is not always the most functional thing that our clients need. And usually it's not the way we should be starting on day 1 before we generate any revenue. Now, why I'm sharing this is because we spent over $100,000 on the build out of our first location, and we got very little utility out of the whole build out. And sure, it looked great. It was picture perfect location. I enjoyed spending time there, but as far as use for client results and benefits for the customers, it wasn't really there. So today we're going to be going over what are the top 3 must-haves for a location, what to avoid, and what not to splurge on, at least in the beginning. So what's important to note if you're looking for a location is to find one that's already semi-ready. And what I mean by that is that you already have the electric done, you already have the plumbing, ideally you already have the space divided in a way that you can move in directly and just decorate it and do some cosmetic work. But you would ideally want to avoid demolition costs and removal costs, as these things quickly add up. And depending on the square footage you got, it could cost you 80% of your budget. So this would be my number 1 tip. And I've written down some notes here just so I make sure I don't forget anything. So if I'm looking over the screen, I just want to let you know that I'm going over all the details. So why is that important? Because it's going to save you a lot of money on permits. Build outs are expensive. They require compliance. There's local laws that are constantly changing. So you want to make sure you check that out prior signing a lease and committing to a build out. And personally, what I really like to do is look for a similar type of business that just went bankrupt, or somebody had a similar complementary business to what I'm going to be doing and they utilize the space in that way. So for me, it's much easier to do light renovation, some light work and cosmetics. So what you want to avoid as much as possible is a full build out, and construction is very hard to manage if you've never done it before and you're working with contractors. There's many lessons to be learned there, and it's going to be costly lessons, unfortunately. So look for a space that's already done. I'm telling you that from personal experience of losing over $150,000 on renovation costs and working with contractors and pushing the ball forward for like 3 months ahead of time because we didn't budget our time properly, so we ended up getting a space and not being able to finish it in 3 months. So my honest advice, find a space that's already catered towards your needs and you can do some cosmetic work. It's not going to contribute to your business growth in any way if you do construction and heavy work. The landlord is going to be able to benefit off of that work because usually they don't want to pay for that. And it's important to choose the right location. So don't marry the first one you see. I know when you're excited to open up your location, what you want to do is find your dream space, and you're like the first one you see, like, this is my location. I just envision it. I see it clearly. But my honest advice is work it backwards, work the cost, work your checklist, especially what we have here in this series is a checklist of things to mark off. And if all the things are marked within the checklist, or even if not all of them, but at least most important ones, then this would be a good location for you to move into. The next thing we're looking here is our location, the one that we signed a lease for. And we have a 2,000 square foot location renting at $900 per month. It's in a central location and it's in a neighborhood that is a residential area with a lot of young families, high disposable income, and big need for health and fitness, as the primary competitors in other locations in the area offer just fitness. They don't have body transformation programs, they don't have boot camps. So for us, that's ideal. So this is what we're looking at. We're also located next to an iconic building that's going to be very easy, especially if you're recording advertising or any materials online and you're trying to invite people from the local area. If you have an iconic building within the neighborhood that you can use as a centerpiece of your content, makes it so much easier, because when people see that ad, they know that you're in the area and it's like a scroll stopper. So that's also very good. Another thing is, if you have a good area, good neighborhood, often paying a little bit premium is worth it, because you can charge a lot more and you make it all on the back end if you have a good model. So for us, paying a little bit premium on the price of the location to get that premium price and markup added later on our prices and services is totally worth it. And the thing we're saving on, we're not on the main street. Usually if you're on a main street, you pay for that. So if you would have just been like a block away from where we're at now, we would have been paying like $2,000 per month. So just going a street back is allowing us to save over $1,000 per month just on the rent alone. So this is something that you should look at, especially if you're a boutique body transformation studio, not a big box gym. You don't care about location so much. So just make sure you still have a convenient location, you have enough parking spots within, but at the same time, don't focus on being forefront and having a lot of high foot traffic, because usually having a gym and a boutique transformation studio is a destination for people, right? So the location we got here is a CrossFit gym, or it used to be a CrossFit gym, and the major build out is done. So the thing is that they went bankrupt. Their concept didn't fit the area, as usually my hypothesis and a guess here is that they were catered towards a fitness audience already, and within that neighborhood you have a lot more people that are not out of shape, but they're looking more towards like a holistic living. So they're focused on the nutrition a little bit more, mindfulness. Maybe they do more like running, jogging, as we're very close by to a park. So I'd imagine that the audience is catered towards more of like group training and yoga, Pilates, such type of workout. So the CrossFit location didn't work out too well, but for us, that's okay. We've negotiated 25 days in advance to move into the location and do our renovations and cosmetic work without paying out of pocket. And we've got 2 monthly deposits that we had to pay. So far we're $2,700 out of pocket. And we've got the bar area that I'm going to show you now on the screen so you can see how that looks. We're going to completely revamp it and change it, of course. We have the future lounge where we're going to have the sitting area. We're going to be doing like the consultations, one-on-ones, measuring people, having a seating area so they can sit after the workouts or have their drink from the bar upstairs and then come down and have a sip. And then we've got the workout area, which is not as big as we ideally wanted, but we ran the numbers, and with the model, we can fit 20 people in group classes and we can utilize the space. So for us, that's great. We've got 2 locker rooms. We've got women's and men's locker room. We got 2 separate restrooms, which is ideal. And then we've got enough storage space so that would allow for us to store any extra items or miscellaneous things that we're using, like cups, extra weights, mats. It's always great to have separate space that you can store some items within. So that's the location we've got. It's not massive, but ideally if it's your first location and you're just starting out and you don't have any reputation within the area you're building, or you don't have massive social media following that you can channel towards your physical location, my advice to you is start small and then gradually upgrade and increase, or get a second location. From experience now, the smaller the location, the more money it earns, because there are less maintenance and things to go wrong. All right, so let's move into the plan for the location. As it's underground location, we're literally below zero. We're planning to have brighter colors to open up the space. We want to make sure we have light, green, and maybe a little bit of black as contrast colors to add to our brand and team. And we want to build a club that creates a friendly vibe that appeals to demographic 35 plus, women, men that have never exercised before. They're not regular gym goers. So we want to create a friendly environment where they feel welcome. So this is it. The primary audience would, I imagine, be 60% women and then 40% guys. So we need good lights, mirrors for photos. We're going to be creating a Pinterest board to see how we can redesign the space. We will be after that holistic wellness vibe. So we want to be using wood, bright green plants, and these are going to be fake. us. We're under the ground, so no light down here. And we're gonna use bright paint colors, laminate floorings, just to create that premium look and feel. And we're gonna try to keep the space clutter free, so not a lot of equipment, not a lot of extra stuff that we don't really need. And we're really gonna focus on naming and branding each area to create a storytelling component that makes it easier to sell the location to the local people and tie it into our online programs, as this is going to be a big way of how we monetize these locations. So this is very important, as we're going to leverage the fact that we have small space to sell our hybrid program. So we have people that are both coming in and at the same time doing the workouts and programs at home, but just come in for check-ins and measurements. So this is the plan for the location. For the bar area, we want to add extra lights, keep everything white, bright, and clean. Minimalistic, again, few green plants, just to command like that minimalistic premium look and feel. For the nutrition cafe, we have a walk-in area, so people in the neighborhood can come grab their drinks in the morning and then head off to work. There's a couple of offices in the area as well, so we might create regular customer base that comes down for coffee, for shakes, for healthy drinks and tea. So that's the plan. And the biggest problem we're going to be facing is that the location is not big. If it's quite small, we need to work around that. And we got to make sure we utilize the space in the most proper way without adding extra things just for the sake of having it or for personal use. And this is an advice for the other gym owners. If you build out the location to satisfy your needs and have a workout space for yourself rather than your clients, think twice about it, because my plan for this location is to focus 100% on the maximizing the group workouts and having great space for people. And then I'm going to be personally going to the gym and doing different types of workouts. So this is something that I advise other business owners to do. If you plan on running the location as a business and not a personal gym, just think of your customers first before adding extra stuff that you would like to have for yourself, okay? So luckily enough for us, we're going to be skipping the demolition part, which is usually the most expensive part of a build out. And we're going to be going directly into cleaning the space and making sure there's no dust, extra items, cleaning it and making it ready for some cosmetic work, freshening up the space, adding the flooring. That's going to be an important part. We want to make sure that we have noise cancellation flooring, rubber mats that we can throw weights at. Luckily enough, right above us, there's a garage, empty garage space. So we're not going to have any noise complaints. This is great. And then we're going to add a little decoration, the final touches that's going to create that nice ambience that customers would feel welcome in and enjoy their experience. And last but not least, we're going to make it our own by branding each and every area of the space and calling it our unique name that matches to the story, matches to the programs, and really creates that Disney experience, if you could say, in a much smaller scale, of course, and on the tight budget we've got. But we'll be showing you the progress as we go throughout the series. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be sharing what are the mistakes, lessons we've learned along the way, but most importantly, we'll analyze everything we've got within our reach. We're going to do the sizing, we're going to do the measurements, we're going to go to the store and see what we could be leveraging. We're going to start reaching out to all our friends that can help us with the build out so we don't go broke before we even start, as we only have $10,000 to invest in the location. So we're going to be reaching out to our friends that are contractors that can lend a hand. And we're also going to be doing the renovations ourselves, meaning painting and some of the flooring or light work that we can handle ourselves. So this is the plan for the location for now. And if you're launching your location now and you've already got a space, my advice to you is think of the corners and theme areas that you can create, whether that's going to be a photo booth for Instagram. That's going to be super crucial in today's age, where people are looking for a way to generate more content, or maybe an area where you can interview your clients, or maybe one-on-one area where you can do consultations and self-transformation programs, or maybe a little corner where you do like hardcore workouts. This is also something that people love. And just write down all the ideas for the location you've got yourself in under 10 minutes and craft that ideal version of your location that also matches the demographic you want to serve. Our location is well under its way, and there's a lot of stuff to be done within the next 10 days. It's going to be putting the team together, doing the renovations, design, planning an opening party. There's so much more to come. So make sure you follow along the journey. And if you have any questions or comments, let me down below.